Remember my name and all I became. The fortune and fame from shackles and chains. My spirit won't break, never let.
Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Triumphant Life Podcast. I guess we're calling this kind of a rebirth, a kickoff episode. We kind of put this podcast on the shelf for a while we were working on other projects, but we're back now with the Triumphant Life, and I'm really honored to be here with you today. One, to share with you some stuff that I think is going to really, really help you in the world, and two, just to really be kicking back off the Triumphant Life. You know, this was my baby when I started it many years ago, and the way I started this was really the reason it was born and the reason you're here. You know, life's going to throw us curveballs. I started this podcast a few months after I had an accident. I had a tumor on my spine and was in the ICU for 2 weeks and went through a really deep, dark depression and got hit financially and mentally and emotionally. And, you know, maybe you've been there. Maybe you've had something like that happen, whether that was a job loss or, you know, a relationship, you know, a divorce, or maybe your partner stole from you or something like that. And maybe you've just been through something like this in the past. And that was my big turning point. You've had one too. I'm sure you have. And coming out of that, I wanted to, one, just start sharing some of the things that I had learned and some of the things that had helped me and some of the things I did wrong, more importantly, you know, mistakes I had made in the process, you know, how I went on that healing journey. And it's been an amazing process, an amazing past few years, but that's what today's about. Today's the kickoff episode. And I felt no better way to re-kick off the episode than with how we started this. Started with this idea that your story matters and you need to share it. It's one of the Triumphant Life core values. Your story matters. And the idea is this. You've been through something in your life. I know you have. Either wins, failures, successes, losses, all the above. And I know for a fact that somebody else out there can learn from your story. You see, I believe that the pain of your past can become the passion and purpose of your future. The mess that maybe you created with your life can become your mission moving forward. And I believe that there's somebody out there right now that needs your help. There's somebody out there right now that went to bed last night nervous, with anxiety, in tears, and you have the solution to help them solve that problem or accomplish that goal. I believe they got up this morning and that was still on their mind, that when they were brushing their teeth and looking in the mirror, they had tears coming down their face. And you have the solution or at least some sort of hope for them based on your story. So when I say your story matters, that's what I mean. And I know it's hard sometimes to share our stories, to get vulnerable and put ourselves out there, and you take the arrows and the haters and all the above, and I understand all of that. But I'm here today to give you permission that your story does matter and can make an impact in this world. Impact's a big deal, and it's been on my mind a lot lately because I believe that if you can just focus on impact over income, again, another one of our core values, it'll help you get where you want to go. You know, money will come and go, but impact won't. That's the one thing they can never take away from you is the impact that you make in lives and in people's, you know, in their hearts, right? You know, money's money, guys. Money comes, money goes, could be made, could be, you know, gone, right? But impact does last and impact matters. And I think if you focus on impact in your content, in your business, in what you're doing, I think it'll help, you know, really just not only change your life or those around you, and it'll help change the world. I believe that your story has the ability to change the world in your voice. I believe you have to share that, right? But it does. And I want you to know that your story matters. The things you've been through in life, the things that you've had to face and overcome, the mountains in your life that you've been challenged with. You're standing on top of that mountain. Today's episode is just to encourage you and give you permission to share that story with the world, whether that's on social media, you know, on a blog, whether that's on a podcast like this, whether that's writing a book, share it. Because I know this. You've probably read books or listened to podcasts or seen videos that just touched you at that point in time. And I think that that's a really, really big deal. To me, I think that's the power of sharing your story, is somebody out there right now needs that, if that makes sense. I'll share with you a quick story. I was going through a mess in my life over the past few weeks, a huge transition and a couple failures, right? Let's just call it what it is, a couple losses, right? Got a couple black eyes, and I was wallowing in it. I was down, I was low, I was a little baby about it, right? And at my lowest point, when I was wallowing in the losses and the black eyes, I got a DM on Instagram. And the person had said that they were hurting and that they were depressed and they had a lot of emotions going on. And I remember looking at the phone and looking at where I was at, you know, with my losses and my black eyes. You know, I got, you know, bags on the eyes, you know, ice bags on the eyes. And I knew that at that point in time, as low as I felt I was I felt I was stronger than that person, and I needed to pull out, my voice. I needed to pull out the microphone. And I really think that DM encouraged today's episode, because I know right when I read it, I went, yep, somebody else needs me. And no matter what I've gone through in my life and the losses I just currently had too, I'm able to share that. And I'm still standing, stronger and better than ever. But I know that person hasn't been through the adversity that I've been through in my life, and that I have solutions and tools like the 30-day challenge and things that can help them get back on track. And that's what encouraged today's kind of rebirth and kickoff episode, was really that DM, and to encourage you and inspire you that somebody else out there is watching, and somebody else out there needs the tools, needs to hear your heart, needs to hear your story, needs to hear your mission, needs to hear your purpose, good and bad. If you notice, I just unpacked some messes. Like, it's okay to talk about your losses. It's okay to talk about your struggles. It's okay to talk about the things you are not great at. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And that's the thing that about the Triumphant Life is this: we're real, we're raw, and you do have a story, good and bad. You have scars, right? And it's okay. And you're allowed to share them. And if you could take anything away from today's just quick episode, is just know that no matter what you've been through in your past, you've accomplished it. You're still here today if you're listening to me. You're still standing stronger than ever. I always say, get back up. Just get back up. That's it. And if you have gotten back up, take your voice, package that on social media, package that in a podcast, package that in a book, package that on your websites, package that on TikTok, on a blog, however you like to communicate, and share the things that you've learned and document your journey. Because when you do, you'll start to find others are out there along the similar journey. When you do share it, you'll find that people are reaching out saying, hey, I needed to hear that today. Thank you for sharing that. When you do share your story, you'll find that people want to do business with you and contract with you. That's why we say impact over income. Because if you can start reaching people and make an impact, and truly make an impact in their lives through your story, successes and failures, wins and losses, right? When you start sharing your story, like unbridled, right? Without just kind of this I don't care mentality, right? I don't care what they say about me. As you can tell, there's no edits here. There's no, you're going to hear the ers, the ums, the stutters. You might hear my dog barking in the background here in my little studio, but just share your authentic self. I think that's the word I've been looking for. Share your authentic self with the world. Share that with somebody out there, because that same person right now is going through the same problem that you have maybe already achieved in your life. And if you've already achieved that, solve that problem or accomplish that goal, do you think you have one thing to share with them? Do you think you have one little tidbit? Yes. So pull out the microphone, hit record. Pull out your phone, hit record. Go live on Facebook, go live on Instagram, go live on TikTok, wherever you got to go live, and start sharing your message, because your story matters. And somebody out there needs to hear your story and be impacted by your story and be touched by your story and get hope from your story and get energy from your story and inspiration from your story, because your story matters. Share it. Guys, this has been the rebirth episode of the Triumphant Life Podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Trevelyan, a.k.a. Coach Nicky T. It's good to be back, y'all. Good to be back home at the Triumphant Life. Miss this place, and it's good to be home here sharing this with you and really talking about the things that I believe matter most in this world, and that's your story, and that's making an impact, and that's helping other people. So anyway, guys, if you like this episode, do me a huge favor. Share it with a friend. It's the greatest compliment I could ever get. Drop me a 5-star review. If there's something that I can do to help you in your life or your business, I want to give you guys a couple really cool resources. If you go to callwithnickyt.com, callwithnickyt.com, you can schedule a free one-on-one strategy session with me. We can dive into your business. We can dive into your goals. We can dive into your personal goals. And it's 30 minutes. It's free. Again, callwithnickyt.com. We'll dive deep into what you're doing. And that would be my gift to you to get you going. I can get you guys all my free resources. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go to @CoachNickyT. You get all my free resources, all my links, all the above. And guys, this has been the kickoff episode. I can't wait to see you on the next. Take care.
Taking all other contenders.